My name is Ben Ono. I am a photographer from the North Shore of Hawaii. Today I'm going to show you my kit to go out and shoot some surf. Shooting in the ocean, it's been a passion that kind of just grew from the fact that I moved out to the ocean later in life, and so it kind of brought out a childlike sense of wonder as I was shooting something I was completely unfamiliar with, and definitely had my days where I was choking on water and not having a good time, and other days where you get home, you look at the photos on the computer and you're like baffled of what you took. To be a proficient surf photographer, I think it's important that you're confident in your swimming. You can stay calm in situations where maybe things are erratic, waves are not planned, so you gotta stay ready. First off, this is what I wear on a day in the ocean. Most importantly, never forget your board shorts. These are some Corduras from Florence Marine X. It's actually founded by John Florence, so it only makes sense. It's tested on the North Shore, and if the best surfer in the world can wear it, I think it's good enough for me. For the hooded rash guard, this one's a nice windshield, also from Florence. Nice and thin, but also keeps you a little bit warm if it's windy, or obviously you're gonna be sitting out in the water for a couple hours. So it's either this or like a 2 mil, 3 mil wetsuit for Hawaii. I think this is just critical midday sun. Like if you're shooting or you're surfing, it's nice to have this just to cover your eyes and keep the glare off, and ultimate sun protection from head all the way through is so important. Protect your skin for as long as you can. Necessary for people with small feet or just not as adequate swimmers, fins. These are by Defin. What you want to look for in shooting surf, and especially in your fin design, is fins that are stiff. You don't want to go with basic snorkeling rental fins or long fins. You want to have fins that are able to keep up when you kick and they respond really quickly. Also, you can just tell from the bottom, there's been some reef scratches. They are also protecting the bottom of your feet from vana, which is like Hawaiian for sea urchin. All right. Protect your cabeza. This is the gaff helmet. This is I think becoming more prevalent in waves of consequence, and I think anyone starting out surfing especially should look into getting a helmet. It's either for protecting your head from the reef, your surfboard, your camera, and anything else. Most importantly, you're looking for padding for your head. You're looking for a low profile, so whether you're going under waves, you want to make sure that you're fluid. I like that you can open these ear holes so you can kind of get a sense of balance while you're in the water or underwater, and you can hear things around you. And it also looks super sick. All right, next up we got our dive mask and snorkel. I think maybe occasionally this can be used to be shooting waves underwater, but more often than not, I'm gonna be using this with just deeper dives. I like this mask by Salvamar. It's low profile, has also a very easy snorkel, but the reason I like a low profile mask is because of the pressure. So when you're going down, you don't want anything with a big bulky mask, then you're gonna go down, you're gonna feel it on your face. So with this, you can equalize, you can go down and have a good time and shoot photos underwater. Next up, I don't think you can have enough plethora of hats when you are in the sun all day. So this is more for when you're just shooting on the beach, or you're just walking around out of the water. I like this one by North Face. Has a good drawstring if it's windy, but a nice wide rim all the way around. Can't go wrong. You can't go anywhere without your towel. Quick dry towel by Slow Tide. I don't leave home without one. And also, we got our giant water bottle, a staple in white, to just have your large bottle of water all day ready to go. Hydration is key. You're in the sun. Dehydration is real. So when you're swimming out there, you don't know if you're sweating, so you just want to keep drinking water. All right, next up, we got the walk around camera. Crazy things happen on the North Shore everywhere in life. I like to have my version of a point and shoot. This is the Leica Q3. It's a fixed 28. I love it. It's just one of my favorite little cameras. I've had this camera for 3 years. It's gone to a few adventures. It's still stayed relatively clean. What I like about it the most, the Leica Q3, is it's small. It's compact, so I can just pack it in my bag or take it wherever with me, and I don't have to really think about the size of it. It's not hanging off, it's discreet, so I can go around and take street photography, not have an issue with that. I also like it's a full frame 60 megapixel. The Summilux, the 28, is a 1.7 aperture, so I can shoot it in any light conditions, don't need to bring a flash, and it's just ready to go. even if it's just for memories. I think this camera, feel lucky to have it. But yeah, Leica is a bit of a staple for a photographer. It's like you can always point someone out by that little red dot and be like, this guy likes photography. Next up, we got the workhorse in the water, out of the water, the Canon R5. On this one, I chose to go with a zoom, and I also pair that in the water. It's a 24 to 105 f4. The autofocus on this thing is crazy. It's, you can shoot subjects surfing towards you at fast speeds, away, across. So this is kind of the thing I go to and I rely on when I'm shooting action sports. I think my personal style for photography is always evolving, but I think a through line of things and photos I enjoy looking back on is they either tell a story, something really interesting is happening, the subject is doing something discreet, or I'm trying to single out a subject in a photo and just make sure that the focus is them or whatever it is in the frame, whether it's a marine animal, whether it's a surfer. I just kind of want to make sure that you can draw the viewer's eye into that subject. Hot take, there's always debates and rivalry between camera manufacturers. Which ones do you have, For me, it's like always the cliche though, it is the user. Every camera we have today is probably better than the camera Ansel Adams had. So just go out there and shoot some photos. The Beast. So this is the underwater camera housing. This one is by Aquatech and it's rated to, I believe, 33 feet. So it's considered a splash housing versus a dive housing. The difference is a splash housing is good for surf, it's good for little drops, but a dive housing, that's for scuba, that's anything below 33 feet. This particular housing is for the Canon R5. So the R5 goes in here, we have a port here, and this is specific to the lens of your camera. So this is for the 24 to 105. I have some knobs here that enable me to zoom in and out of the water. But this is where I kind of heavily rely on the autofocus capabilities of a Canon R5, and that's why I choose to use it in the water, just because I'm not gonna be able to manually focus as a surfer is coming right at me in time. First and foremost, you want a water housing to keep your camera dry. That is the most important thing. These things are expensive and you don't wanna drown them. Double handles that can dry. The knobs are nice and able to turn here. Adjust all my settings. Usually in the water, I can change a few things. Shutter speed, aperture, white balance, ISO, all the fun things. But for the most part, set this up on shore, go out in the water, and just at that point, I just wanna lock in and have a good time and take photos. In my career, things that I took for granted about shooting underwater is definitely the fact that you have to be a very capable swimmer. And I think that it involves being able to hold your breath for at least minutes at a time. You can take a freediving course, which will help you figure out what your working time is and how long you can go underwater, how to do it safely, most importantly. And then I think once you get comfortable with the sport of freediving, you're gonna be able to shoot underwater and it'll be more second nature and you won't have to worry about holding your breath while also figuring out all your camera settings. I can hold my breath for 4 minutes and 15 seconds. So that was the last time I tested it. That was a static breath hold test, where you basically are watched by an instructor and you lay face down in a pool of water. They just make sure that you do not black out. And that's usually the biggest fear that we look out for when freediving or shooting underwater is dive with a buddy, don't black out. Okay, next up is just a basic first aid kit. This one is by MyMedic. So not only does it look good, it can also help save your life. I think basic things, Band-Aids, it's pretty common to get reef cuts, whether you're stepping on the wrong spot or you fall off a wave surfing. I think it's important to carry some Band-Aids just to cover that up. And really important too is anytime you're in the ocean, understanding that the reef is alive. So if you get cut by the reef, you have to rinse it out immediately. Otherwise you can get a staph infection, which is no fun at all. On that vein, we have Neosporin, gloves, obviously. More just topical treatments, lip balm, sunscreen, just swabs in general. Things that come in handy. I think it's just good to get a comprehensive first aid kit. You can't always rely on there being someone else to help you out and save you. So I think it's be prepared as possible. On the North Shore, we have the North Shore Lifeguard, which is one of the best lifeguard associations in the world, in my opinion. But there's times where there's no lifeguard available. And I think it's good to know your limits and also to be prepared if something does happen. If I'm going out to shoot waves, either on a production or on my own, there's people that know water safety, or that's even their specialty. So I think it's important to surround yourself with other people that can be there to save you, because you never know. Back to essential camera gear, a red tool, hex tool. It's my go-to. Has just every variety of hex key I need, or a flathead or Phillips. So as camera nerds know, this thing is a lifesaver. Sax wax, essential. So always be a guy, always have some wax for your surfboard. I personally like to use it on the port of my water housing. If you put a little bit on, rub it in, it avoids you getting water drops on the front of your port. Next up, we just got our little Ziploc bag of goodies. More sunscreen. I got tinted sunscreen. I think this is SPF 40. Yeah, I like to stick with the stick sunscreen over the sprays. In Hawaii, at least, we want to make sure that you have reef safe sunscreen, so double check the back before you bring it so you keep our reefs alive. Next up, on just general hydration, I got some liquid IV packets. These are white peach and lemon lime, sugar-free. Next, we have soy sauce. This is just from the Foodland in Pupukea in the North Shore. I like to use it in emergency cramping situations. Sometimes you're out in the water and the waves are super good. So you're out there for 3 to 4, maybe 6 hours at a time if it's like the best day of all time. And so the worst thing you can do is cramp and start sinking. So we want to make sure that we stay afloat and keep kicking. When I look at this, I feel like I'm just gonna have a good day in the sun. I can enjoy my shooting, knowing that I'm gonna come home safe, prepared, and hopefully with a couple good images. All right, guys, that's it. That's my EDC. Follow me at Silky Merman, and see you out there in the water.